What's going on? Welcome into TFEs alongside my husband, Dalen Cuff. I'm Kelsey Riggs Cuff. I don't even know what episode this is. 6?
I was wondering if you're going to say, I think it's 6, but I think you're stopped now.
We're gonna lose track of it at some point. We're not going to lose track of what we're doing here, though, with the TFEs, thoughts, feelings, emotions. I was just thinking as we get further into it, I want to make sure that we're talking about like what the purpose of it all is when we say TFEs off the top and giving our thoughts, giving our feelings, giving our emotions, and trying to differentiate between the two to, facilitate bigger conversations, which we've had a lot of this week.
We have. Would you like to lead? I feel like I always lead. And then, last week I just took us on a rabbit hole.
You took us on.
Try not to hijack it again.
I'm going to hijack it this time. And I'm going to try and not make this the Days podcast because we also did that last week. We did. We're 45 minutes and not really, but I was like, Days. My thoughts, feelings, and emotions off the top. Thoughts, I'm really happy that you're back.
Good to be back.
For a lot of reasons. Mm-hmm. You were barely gone, but I'm happy that you're back. My feelings are, I think I feel excited for this podcast to have like an hour to sit down and rehash some things and have bigger picture conversations that have kind of been a part of our last week. So I'm excited about that, but my emotions are also, I am like living in a state of fear right now.
Why?
You already know the answer. Thank you for asking the rhetorical question. Because I have a phobia. Mm-hmm. And like most phobias, I know that it is unreasonable.
Irrational
and unreasonable.
Okay. I think there's two different things, but go ahead, continue.
You don't think it's an unreasonable fear?
Yeah, I guess the irrational part is you cannot, we should look up the dictionary definition. I wonder what the dictionary definition of phobia is.
Yeah.
But I feel like irrational is part of it because it can't be reasoned. You can't be reasoned to not be afraid of it. You can't be reasoned to look at it objectively. You are consumed by this phobia.
Yeah, which is why it's unreasonable for me to be this scared, I guess. Yeah. But yes, it's an irrational fear. I think it's unreasonable that I have this phobia of throw up. Of me throwing up, of anyone else throwing up. I know that it's crazy. I know that it happens. All I've ever wanted to be was a mom. And I honestly, like my biggest fear in being a mom was like, oh God, when the kids throw up. And inevitably, Dace has thrown up 3 times. Once you were there. That was just like a freak little thing at Mama and Papa's, remember? But twice he's thrown up. And you've been out of town for both of those times. And this was like, without being too graphic, because that's not the point of this either, even though this is now my therapy session. Thank you, because I'm living in this constant state of fear. This happened on Sunday. We were 30 minutes into a 45-minute drive to see a friend. He's in his car seat and just starts puking everywhere, which I say in a vacuum is like my biggest fear, like my greatest night. It's like my worst nightmare. I'm stuck. I can't pull over. I didn't know what to do. I'm like literally going down the interstate as it's happening. And I finally, like, there's not even a median for me to pull in. Finally, there is. It finally is probably like 5 seconds to me. It felt like 3 hours. And then I'm like on this embankment, so I can barely get out. I'm holding him as he just wants to cuddle. I'm terrified to throw up, but it's my baby. So I'm just reaching straight in to get him out of there. And honestly, I had one of my friends afterwards that I told her what happened, Christine, and she's like, well, are you proud of yourself? You made it through. And I was like, and now you know you can do it. And I was like, I think I'm just mostly proud that I didn't call 911. Because that's what I wanted. I didn't know what to do. I was like, what do? You're holding this baby. You're on the side of the road. Cars are whizzing by. I know we're not in a safe place. I can't drive with him unless I put him back in the puke-filled car seat. It was awful. And now it is literally all I can think about. What if he's car sick? What if he's not? What if this happens in the future? We have to drive an hour in 2 weeks. I'm already worried about that. Like, it is completely unreasonable for me to be this afraid. And I survived it. I did the mom thing. I was great. I held him. I cleaned the whole thing. I won't give you the graphic details because it was absolutely disgusting. I figured it out, which is like what you have to do as parents. I can't stop thinking about it.
Well, thinking about it is one thing, because when you think about things, you don't talk about them incessantly and share them. So you can't stop thinking or talking about it.
Literally, a stranger on the street, if they were like, how are you? I'd be like, I'm okay, but my son threw up this weekend and now I'm scared that it's going to happen again. And what do I do? And oh my God, am I okay? Let me ask ChatGPT.
This is the hard part. Let's just unpack a couple of these different things. First of all, anytime, and every dude knows this, anytime anything happens, we're always not there. Like that's like inevitably the thing, that we're not there, and then maybe there's frustration, there's consternation, there's sadness, whatever it may be, because we're not there. On top of this,
I wasn't frustrated. I was just sad.
And I'm saying for any parent, I'm saying some women will get mad at the guy, and vice versa.
I'm not saying I've never. I'm just saying in this instant, I was just so traumatized that I was sad that you weren't.
Well, I also find it fascinating because this is a difference in the sexes. I feel like too. You called me while I was at a golf outing.
I didn't know what to do. I called you instead of 911.
I'm 1,200 miles away. I know. What can I do? I literally cannot do anything. Now I'm just like, why is she standing on the side of the road of interstate on the phone too, with the baby puke, crying? Get me off the phone. Like, you got to handle. I can't do anything about this, and you're just making it more complicated by trying to talk to me at the same time. So, I don't know if that's like an emotional outreach, maybe. Like,
I needed someone to tell me what to do. I called you first, then I called my friend quickly who we were meeting and was like, Dace threw up. I can't meet you. Turn around. I'll call you later. Just so that she didn't keep driving.
That's fair. I get that.
And then I was like, should I call my mom? Should I call my dad? They'll know. Somebody's got to tell me what to do. I don't think it's okay to call 911.
It definitely isn't, unless this was a threat to his life.
Well, truly, I'm like being dramatic about, is it okay to call 911? But it was really like, I don't know how I can't sit him back in this vomit covered car seat. I can't set him down on the side of the road. Obviously, I didn't even want to sit him in the car and take the car seat out and clean it. Just God forbid if something happened to the car. It was like spiraling. So I'm like, how do I do this with a baby? There was a stroller. I got the stroller out. I set it right by me. I took the car seat out, whatever. We figured it out, and no 3 numbers were dialed.
Just a few more things. So the one when we're always not there, you call and there's nothing we can do. And I say we, it's not just me. It's most men. Nothing we can do. I don't know what to do with this. I can't help. I'd love to help. I'd love to solve the problem. I don't know what to do with your phobia. And I try not to get frustrated in my responses to you. And it's just hard sometimes because when you're beating the hell out of that dead horse and you just keep talking, like yesterday, you were in full spiral mode. Like, I'm on the plane talking to you about whatever was going on there. And then you're just right away talking about trips in the weeks, months to come.
I know.
And I was like, this has hit a new level of irrationality.
We don't even know if he's a car sick kid. I think I just gave him too much yogurt.
Here's also, I think a lot of people try to do, like, the need to diagnose him and tell him what it is, or like, it's this or it's this. You don't know. He might say that. Like, it's just okay. It's okay to not know.
I only need to diagnose it because of this fear. It's like, if I can rationalize.
You can't ask him. He doesn't know.
I know. It's driving me crazy. But if I can rationalize, it was like bad milk he drank. Of course, I came back and I looked at the milk. Not bad. Looked at the yogurt. Not bad. I'm like, okay, but he's never eaten that much yogurt. And then I put him in the car. And then I'm like, well, his car seat changed. Maybe it's this. Maybe it's that. In order to like deal with this phobia, it's like I need to rationalize and have a plan. The plan helps me. I already said, maybe he never throws up again. I'm going to have stuff in the car just in case.
We got a puke bag, folks. We got a puke stack coming in the car.
It helps me feel better.
Perfect. I want you to feel better. I want you to feel okay if this happens again. But this is it's going to happen again.
I know.
Having young kids, something goes wrong. Something didn't sit well in their stomach. They're uncomfortable. They're going to puke.
Yeah.
It's going to happen. Like, Lyra did it. He's doing it. Every kid's going to do it. It's going to happen. Every person. So you can make that face and you can be paranoid about it. I don't know how to help you. And I'm going to say it to the rest of anybody that's listening too. I'm trying. I'm going to try to be patient with it.
You actually have been very patient. Yesterday, you were what are we incredibly kind. The last time when I got sick, because
on the plane, I took a deep breath and I was about to go down a different path. And I was like, all right, let's reset here and let's just tell her. All the deep breaths that we're practicing with
Dace with all of his emotions right now are also helping you.
I haven't really got to the deep breaths with Dace.
Oh God, I have every day.
I feel like I just look at him.
It's an attitude. I'm like, buddy, let's take a deep breath. And he's like, wah!
Do you think he expresses emotions different to you than to me already as like a little baby? Like, can you see he comes to you for certain things and me? Like, do you think that exists?
Yeah, he comes to you to swing the golf club, and he comes to me to hold him.
Which is great news.
He's obsessed with that now. Maybe a little bit. I think it's like at this point he's just still figuring it out, like those emotions. I mean, because sometimes even if he's mad, he's gonna like give me an attitude. If he's mad, he's gonna give you an attitude. He's not necessarily gonna like come to one of us or the other. I guess in certain situations maybe, but yeah, you handled it very well. You were very kind. You were very understanding, which I need in these trying times.
This is bananas.
I have a question.
Sure.
Do you think I can get hypnotized?
I don't know what that does or means, but sure, you
like,
can.
Would it make me forget this fear?
I don't know about any of that stuff. I've never done it. I'm not sure.
Well, I'm definitely gonna get a therapist for a lot of things. I can't believe I haven't done it yet. But
the therapist for a phobia, can they do anything with that?
I don't know. I think that we need to try.
Well, yeah, I'm all game for trying. Whatever gets you over this thing or gets you to have a more rational approach to it would be.
Well, you know awesome. What it is, and we talked about this last time, because when Lyra got sick, I was so scared. Even though Dace and I quarantined, you were literally sleeping in the bed with her, and then you don't get it and I get it, which was wild. And it was as soon as you literally boarded a plane, I started throwing up, and I was home with Dace.
Standard.
Yeah. But it's the anticipation of it. So it's like in the moment it happened and I'm like, okay, this is what we have to figure out. Like that time that I got sick. Okay. I got sick, but the anticipation of those days from when she was sick to, are we going to catch the stomach bug? And the anticipation now of like, he got sick in a car. Is this going to happen again? Is this a thing? Like, I don't know what to do with it. I want to like pack it in a box and put it somewhere. And like, I know that we're talking about this like unreasonable, irrational fear that I have, but like, I do think it like, you know, we're joking about it, but it is like a bigger thing for a lot of people when it comes to fear. It's like, how do you handle this? Even if it's irrational, when it becomes like all consuming.
Well, I think there's two different things you hit there though, because like worry for worry's sake, and therapists I think do and can help with that, because some of that is an anxiety, some of it is an uneasiness, some of it is self-manufactured and self-debilitating. So how do you like get through that? Because I think there is definitely like I mean, we all worry about different stuff, but I feel like you can obsess, and many people can. I do think this may be a difference between men and women a lot of times too. We'll look and worry about the next thing down the road versus like we can't control some of that stuff. Mm-hmm. Like to think about it and to plan for it or try to approach things, get it. But when you start to spiral in a non-productive way that's like self-debilitating.
Yeah, like I'm sweating right now just while we're talking about
we need to find a way to address that issue, because it's fear is one thing, but also the worry and the anxiety created by that fear is problematic. And I do think those are manageable things. And I do think those are manageable emotions in some regard. I don't know how to help again with those management of those, but there's trained professionals.
Well, you're listening, so that's been helpful.
Well, pat myself on the back for that. Tell you what, I looked at that guy next to me playing yesterday. I was like, do I become a dick?
My wife's crazy right now. What do I do?
I think he saw me. I was like, it was like a long exhale, rub my head, and I was like, all right, take a breath. Don't be an ass. You can do this politely. You can do it. And then I ordered a double Woodford. I put you on mute, and I went right to it. Great.
It did make me feel better, so I appreciated it. I needed to talk about it more, and clearly I still do.
Yeah, apparently.
But I'm sure, like, okay, there are people that have irrational fears of throwing up, but they're like, we all have something that we're afraid of.
It's a good question. I don't ever think I'm afraid of heights. Like I still get scared if I'm controlling it, like roller coasters. But if I'm like standing on like the edge of New York City, like where you look straight through the ground.
Awesome experience.
Knees were wobbling, like so uncomfortable to do that.
You don't like not clear water either.
Well, yeah, I like to be able to see what I'm looking at. I don't want to be jellyfish.
Would you say that's a fear? I would. For you.
Yeah, I think that's like it's not a fear because I don't mind walking around in there. I think it's different that you put me in a gross lake outside your grandpa and grandpa's house. No, I was actually
thinking about when we were at Brett and Jenna's and we were paddleboarding and we were like further and you're like, I don't want to be out here anymore. I don't like this water.
I was uncomfortable. Yeah, I was right. I mean, that's a good example because I was swimming out there one time when I went to visit them too, and they had goggles on, and I realized I was swimming. I was like, you're going so fast because you're a little panicked. Like you're not swimming at a good pace. You're swimming too fast and wearing yourself out because I'm uncomfortable with what's going on right now. Yes, I think that's a good one. I like the ocean itself. I'm a little uneasy in it. I like to be able to see what's going on. So, got to take your boy on Caribbean vacations, apparently. Or, very tropical places. I don't have any
issues with that.
Time and money are different.
Well, yeah.
Different issues. But yeah, I think those are probably two. But I think they're also. This is what's like. I can still stand out there in the water where we on our beach right here and hang out with you and Lyra and be fine. Like there's not an irrational nature to it. Something has to make me uneasy. Like the lake at your grandparents' house that you got in, you hoodwinked me into thinking this was a freshwater lake. First of all, I jump in, salt water. Lyra is so excited to jump in. She's conquering fears left and right.
We had a great time.
We did. You guys jumped in. I came in last, and then I realized as it was salt water, I'm like, I can't see anything. It's salt water, which means there can be sharks and anything else in this joint. I'm out of here. And then when I stood up, you're like, hey, rub your arm. You rub your arm. There's like black soot coming off my arm. I'm like, what kind of over-polluted, disgusting waterway did you get us in here? And meanwhile, Lyra's drinking it. She's having a great time. It's in her mouth. She's, can I touch the bottom? Like, she's having a great time. And Daddy's like, I'm out of here. And then I walked back in the house to make matters worse, just to share this with the audience. I walked back in the house. Dace took a crap so putrid, you could smell it down the hall. And I felt bad for your grandma and grandpa sitting down there. I'm like, can they smell this too?
96 years old, just
singeing their nostrils.
On the complete opposite side of the house that he was sleeping.
Your boy was not happy. But yes, it was that fear is what caused me to get out of that water immediately. And then all this other stuff compounded.
Yeah.
But that was, like you're right, there's some irrationality to that. But I could say there's some rationality to it as well. I can't see.
I mean, it's okay. Okay, so those are my TFEs and my fears, and we're working through this. And I joke, and I said this to you yesterday, and we were like, oh, that's interesting, because I say, like, that's my worst nightmare. Like, him getting sick, we're stuck in a car, I can't do anything, like, I don't know what to do, I don't have what I need, I don't know how to help. Like, I'm jokingly like, that's my worst nightmare. But I'm saying I'm jokingly because, like, maybe that's like my superficial, like, worst nightmare, you know, like, I don't like that, but it's okay. I survived it, and, like, I'll survive it if it happens again. And it is what it is. I was like, my worst fear is probably, like, losing people that I love. Like, that's my actual worst fear. Like, I mean, I can't even say it, like, something happening to you or Dace or Lyra or my family, like, that is my worst fear. So it's, like, funny when I'm sitting here joking, like, oh, my worst nightmare. It's like, well, my worst nightmare of, like, haha, this sucks. And, like, I know that I can get over it. But that's a kind of fear that I don't know, like, what to do with. And it's not something, it's different because it's not something that I necessarily think about. And it's like this, you know, debilitating, like, fear of, like, is this going to happen, or when is this going to happen? Because inevitably we all lose someone that we love at some point. But if you're asking me things that I'm scared of, not something that I obsess over, then it's like, yeah, that is my worst nightmare, which I think you kind of had a different approach to it, or maybe were surprised by it when I said it yesterday.
Yeah, it's just, I think I was surprised by it. Maybe I don't think about it as much. I don't know. And that's like a self-defense mechanism. And maybe more people do think about this and think about
well, and I don't think I think about it all the time, but I think if I say it out loud, I'm like, yeah, that is what I am like scared of in life, because I don't know how you deal with it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, because I have been pretty charmed, other than losing my father, which yesterday would have been his 83rd birthday, which is always a hard day. So, like, yeah, my thoughts the last 24 hours were a lot about him and about loss and about family. And because of some other work stuff, I feel like I spent the first half of that day not, like, in a very reflective mood, which I usually am on days. More his birthday, honestly, than the day he passed, which is July 18th. I feel like there's a birthday. It's like a celebration. There's more memories. There's things. It's just I don't know why it feels different. It feels a little harder.
The birthday feels harder.
Yeah, I don't know why. Because it's like his day that we celebrated when he was here. Like 18th, we don't celebrate. Like, we recognize and remember, and there's pain and there's loss and there's memory that you try to be positive. But that was a day created by his absence. His birthday was always the day to celebrate him. It was his day. And as he used to say, you can take a man out of the ghetto, you can't take the ghetto out of the man. One time you get to pick whatever you wanted for dinner. One day we had fried chicken pops. Like, remember at KFC were doing these little like
popcorn chicken.
Popcorn chicken, yeah. We had fried popcorn chicken, like buckets of it. And I was like, dude, what?
For his birthday?
Yeah, like, this is so bizarre. Beans and wieners one year. Like, but the chicken one was unbelievable. Not that we all didn't love fried chicken, of course, genetically predisposed, but the need for those popcorn chickens for your birthday was bizarre. But it's things like that you remember and smile and laugh, and then with every laugh, then there is that sadness, and so the plane ride actually yesterday was the one time I had to then actually just sit there and think about him, and started looking through old pictures, which made me feel like, again, there was some joy in that, but a ton of sadness, because that's like all the pictures I have of him. There's like 20 pictures. We just live in a different era. And I know my mom has more, and I know they're in her house and they're in the binder somewhere, and we should make some time to go down there and go through them all and look at stuff and show you and show Lyra. Like Lyra, I've said before, I think on the pod, like Lyra's, the picture in her mind is him at 20 years old playing basketball. That's the one that sits in the house. Like, but I didn't even know that guy. So it's different. So there was that feeling of loss and the emotions just kind of like, sitting in it. And I try not to be angry because there is, I think the process of how he passed, I've talked about this before, was he shouldn't have gone at 69. It shouldn't have worked out like that. But even if he didn't, if everything's great, maybe he's gone at 83 anyway. Like maybe he's gone in the interim. I don't know. Mm-hmm. And it's just, you feel like a great loss for him in the absence of him, but then it gets way exponentially harder thinking about Lyra, thinking about Dace, and thinking about you. Like you'll never got to know him, and they'll never get to know him. And that part makes me like even sadder. It's like a bigger bummer. Just because there's so much that he taught me, so much I learned. There's so many memories and moments for you guys to never get to share any of that. And the last part I guess I'll say about it, that I had the same thing with his parents. Like I never met my grandparents on his side, and I would say that, but then I just kind of cruise right by it. Mm-hmm. Like when you don't know what you missed, it's almost like the kids, they're oblivious. Mm-hmm. And that's even sadder because like the person didn't exist. And that's the hard part. The difference, his upbringing was different. He was mostly raised by his grandparents. He was my guy. So to have that be just this like oblivious thing, and in Lyra in 20 years, we'll say the same thing I'm sitting here saying right now with no impact on our life. That is another, like, just there's like levels of sadness that you kind of not descend down upon. It just becomes a little all encompassing, I guess, a bit, and which is better than burying the emotions. I feel like in years past, I would just kind of plow through the day and not try to. I would just think about the positives or whatever. And before we started going through therapy and having conversations like this or being able to express my emotions, I would bury it in something else and do something else and occupy my mind. So I was appreciative yesterday of having that 2 hours on a plane to be like, let me sit here and think about some stuff. Although it was sad, I think it's reflective and ultimately, I think, healthy.
Mm-hmm. I think it is something that I'm always aware of, the fact that like he's someone that I'll never know. And that makes me sad for a lot of reasons, because I know how influential and impactful he was in your, not just your life, but your brothers and your sister and your mom. And it sounds like really anybody who came in contact with him, but it's hard to like love someone and have no way to like know that part of them. Mm-hmm. I think even back to like the beginning of our relationship, we waited a long time for me to meet Lyra, obviously, but that was something that we talked about. It was like, that is a whole part of your life that I don't know. And at that point I didn't deserve the access to that part of your life, because we had to make sure that, this was for real and wanted to do that the right way. But I think with your dad too, it's like that's a part of your life that I will never know. I'll only know through you and how we try to honor him and celebrate him and talk about it. But, I think as an outsider, that's hard too, because it's like, how do you be there for someone when you, of all, I said to you yesterday, like, I can't understand the depths of like what this feels like. I just can't. And I like, knock on wood, I'm lucky and I'm blessed. And one day all of us will know that level of pain in some regard. But I think especially as you get further removed from, the last birthday that you got to celebrate with him, and then also, like you said, the day that he passed, it's like, how do you continue to honor him? And then also me, like, I just be there and support somebody and make sure that it's still important. I don't know. It's hard. I think it's hard to know that like that's something that like you carry with you forever. And honestly, I think it affects you in different ways. You make a lot of jokes when we talk about having more kids, and I say too, and you're like talking about, you'll have to push me down the aisle at high school graduation because I'm going to be so old, or I'm not going to live forever. And we had a very serious conversation about this one day where I was like, I feel like part of that comes from the fact that you lost your dad early. Mm-hmm. And there's this fear of like knowing what that was like for you, and this fear of like not being able to be there for your kids, and when will that happen? And I feel like that's, something that inevitably has affected you as well.
Yeah. I mean, in 6 weeks, I'll turn 42. He had me when he was 42. That was an older parent. My mom was 40.
And you weren't the last kid, and they had many more. Just so weird.
Well, the last biological kid.
Well,
so
still.
they decided to do things in a different manner, which was great for my little brother and sister. But there's definitely a big part of me that, hey, I want to be able to enjoy, life after having kids with you, and with and I look at some of where my parents ended up doing, like when he was here, they had so few years where it just became them to enjoy their grandkids and be grandparents. And my man got a lot of golf in once he retired, so he got that. But like, it was only 5 years or so. When you think about the grand scheme of his life, that's not a lot of time to sit back and kind of enjoy the fruits of his labor, if you will, with his family, and extended family. And as I just said, so I think there's part of it. I think that's something real. Like, if we're like, yeah, I don't want to be a 68-year-old grandpa at a high school graduation. Like, that seems daunting to me. And losing him at 69 means, like, all right, am I going to be around the next couple years? Am I gone then? Like, I don't know. He used to always joke that he's like, my Uncle Chip lived till he was 96 and smoked every day and blah, blah, blah. So that was his argument. He wanted to have like an extra bowl of ice cream or something, like, or keep smoking. Like, we wouldn't stop smoking. So I was like, dude, that's not how this thing works. And it didn't work like that for him. And I obviously, maybe that's a little bit of why we maniacally work out in a different way beyond the vanity, which is really the big reason. But other than that, there are health benefits. But at the same time, like, I have no idea. I don't, but I do have a little bit of I guess we're about to fear, maybe a little bit of a fear of going early. And what does that mean for us? What does that mean for you? What does that mean for our kids and however many kids we have? I think that plays into it. I think that's something I don't think I gave it its honest weight, and I do joke around about it. I think I was joking about it last night, but that's a self-defense.
Shut that down really quick. Yeah,
self-defense mechanism, quite a bit.
We're living to 100.
I hope so. I think that's weird though too. I do what I was saying before. Like, I think I've been charmed in the fact that I lost my grandma when I was in college, and she was amazing. Like, just doted on me for so many years. But she had Alzheimer's, and it took a long time. So she was not the person that she was for the last 6-7 years on the planet. So that was hard. But we had so many times, so many memories. Grandpa, when I was like 13, tough dude. Like, there was not a lot of love in that exchange. But I have memories and memories of him, obviously. And then my dad. Outside of that, I've lost some friends way too young, car accidents, drug overdoses, some things that really sucked. That people were close to me in my life in like my teenage years and early 20s. But there are, by and large, I think I've been kind of lucky. Like, people lose parents earlier, they lose siblings, they lose loved ones. They do, like, that is so that's why I think I've been lucky. I do think about not being here for Lyra and for Dace, and what their life's going to be like, and what I've left on them. And I hope that's, you hear your years down the road, but you don't know. And I think that does play in my mind more than I think I would have ever thought. And I think it probably is the genesis of that is losing Dad.
Yeah, because you had to live that, and you've had to figure it out, and I think compartmentalize some of it probably over the years. What do you think is the hardest part of that loss?
I sent this to my brother last night, and I appreciate, like, you only have one of these people, one dad, one mom, and there are people that play those roles in your life. You can have father figures, you can have motherly figures come in and go, and I've had lucky to have both of those type of people in my life. But I think you did this the other day, and it made me think about it. You called your mom or your dad, and they didn't answer, and you were almost like annoyed. Like, what are they doing? Where are they? That's the only person on the planet, only two people on the planet we could feel that way as adults. Like, why are they not answering my call? What could be more important than when I call? But I was laughing because I used to think about that when I call him. But like, dude, you're on the golf course. Answer the phone. Like, what are you doing? Like, but that was my expectation, because when I called or I needed to talk, he was there. And I think in this period of my life, in the last 5 or 6 years, he would have been invaluable. Like, I always said my mom would tell me what I wanted to hear, as a mother sometimes does, and my dad would tell me what I needed to hear. And I think I'd lost that guiding principle through marriage trouble, through things I was doing, through the rehabilitation process afterwards, like having him provide what I need to hear in a way would have been, I think, very impactful. And I think not having that, and not having that outlet, not having that person that's always in your corner that's going to give you give it his advice unvarnished, and know that there's, without a doubt, my best interest at heart. I think it was Steve Harvey. I think I saw this on some pod the other day, and he was talking about his dad. He goes, "That's the only guy in the world that wants you to be better than him. Is your kid? The father wants the kid to be better. It's the only person in the world." And a lot of men in my world are competitive. Like, they want you to be better in every way, shape, or form. He wanted me to be better than him, and to help me get there, he was going to give me any advice possible. And to not have that outlet or that support, and I did say that, like, my oldest brother Derek he's kind of filled that role, and I've leaned on him a lot in different times in the last 13 years, and he's been amazing. And I feel bad because I said this to him yesterday. Who does that for him? Like, he's the big brother. He's just who gives him that back? And I don't think he gets. I don't know if he has anybody to do that, and I don't know if it's our relationship dynamic is different. He'll ask me questions and thoughts, but I'm the little brother, and he's filled that role amazingly. And I'm very grateful for that. But when you have that person that's no longer there, that was the person for so long and forever, and I still say, quote, different things he said or sayings he said, and live up to or down to your expectations, all these different things he talked to us in different, like, idioms and one-liners that stick with me, that I try to tell Lyra, and I'm sure I'll tell Dace and other kids that I've been around and family members. But I think that's a long, rambling way of saying, when you lose your guy and lose that person that's always there, that's the biggest thing.
Well, I do. I mean, I think what you said to Derek and about Derek, obviously is very real, because, like, who becomes that person for you? But I do also, like, think and want to acknowledge, like, you guys have a super special relationship. So whereas, like, he's filled that void for you, I do think that there are other voids that you have filled for him in different ways, without your dad, just because you guys do have such a close relationship. Yeah, I know it's not the same thing that you're saying that he does for you, but
I make him hug me now, though, so we've definitely made progress in the last 5 or 6 years on that. That's been big. That's good.
Our
he used to walk up and, like,
different.
He used to, like, walk up and, like, shake my hand. Like, one time I was like, "Dude, get out of here with this handshake."
How did you just go into it?
I think I said, "Get out of here with this handshake." Come on, man. No, it's just different. But
and then he met me, and I was like, "Hey!"
Oh, yeah.
It's like, what personal space?
You don't need that.
The other thing that I think is interesting, and I obviously, go to my faith and things like this, and there are different things that I think that God says and does and tries to show us. And we went golfing on the day your dad died, and you found that ball.
Well, you found the ball.
Well, yeah, but I found it. Yeah. I mean, I found the ball because, of course, yes, I hit it in the marsh and was looking for my ball and found another
I think
one.
I was out of bounds, too. I wasn't making that motion. I you just happened to find the ball. You walked over and handed it to me.
So we were golfing, and it was on the day your dad had passed, and I think I found, like, 3 golf balls while I was over there. And I pick one up. I see it has a little stamp on it, and I look at it, and it says, "Best Dad by Par." And I was like, what are the odds? Out of all the balls that I found, out of all the balls that are on all of the golf courses, that on, like, this day I found that. And so I, like, waited a couple holes because I, like, wanted it to be impactful to you because it was impactful to me. Like, I feel like that's God's way of saying, like, letting your dad say, like, "Hey, I'm here. Like, I'm still here. I'm with you," and just trying to give you like a little God wink. So that was that.
Wait, let me just on the, can I interject on that? Because this is also really sad. I know it sounds insane, but I have become obsessed with golf in the last couple of years. But he was golf obsessed.
Yeah.
And I would give anything to share how I feel about this game now and how much I enjoy it, how much I enjoy the time out there with him. Like, we would play once or twice a year. That's all I would go home. I'd see him. I'd play. Derek would play. And it was fun, but it wasn't like, it didn't matter to me, the game, the score, the time, actually, and the time spent then. The 4 or 5 hours where I know you don't love it. So I'm like, I'm not answering my phone, or I try not to answer my phone or be on my phone. That really is about just the disconnect. And at times it's about playing the game or enjoying the game. at times about the people you're with too, and enjoying them and being present, and to be able to share that with him now and be able to go play at some places and have those moments. Like, that really sucks. Like, sometimes I get really bummed out in the fact that, like, I was just too late. Like, he had me start playing when I was young. Like, he knew it would be important for work and for life, and he was right. But he also wanted to share that time with me. And I didn't get it. And we did it, and we had fun. But now it's like how I feel about this game, and be able to connect with him and spend those hours. Like, it would be unbelievable to spend that time with him and to not be able to do that. There are times when I'm playing by myself too that I really think about that. Like, I do feel a connection to him, or think about him, or reference him on the golf course all the time. All the time. So when you found the ball, that wasn't just like, it's because it's our game, the thing we shared, the thing he loved the most outside of his kids and the game of basketball, which game of life. Like, he loved everything about what this game told you about who you are, what you can be, how to work, all these different things that you can learn from golf. He loved. And to find that ball on the course when we decided just to go because this is the day he passed, maybe we'll go play 9 holes and like, that was pretty weird.
It's pretty cool. I thought it was pretty cool. I'm glad that you did too. I was like sitting on it for like 2 holes. Like, should I tell him now? I don't want to. I think this is really special. I hope he's going to think it's really special. And I also wanted you to have time to like think about it and reflect in it. There's a spider on the ceiling over there.
Oh, excellent.
Sorry, I couldn't unsee that. Are you going to get it?
Well, what do you want me to do? Not get it now?
Okay. You can do it. I believe in you. Oh, what do you know? A dirty sock. That's what he's getting it with. Oh. Good job. I guess we have to call the bug man.
Got him.
That's my baby. And now the sock is in my camera view. Cool. Good placement. It's fine. Leave it. Who cares?
We'll move it.
Good job. Thank you, babe. Okay. So that was that. I wanted it to be impactful. The other thing is yesterday we go to New York for a surprise birthday dinner for one of your very best friends. And we're early and we're scared because we're like so early that we like don't want to be on the street and they're like walking around. And then we're like, we don't want to be in there too early because the restaurant's empty and they just see us. And like, what do we do? So we're going to walk somewhere else. We forgot to pay the meter. We came back. So we're like, let's just go grab a drink nearby somewhere quickly. And we wander into this random restaurant.
Two doors down.
Most restaurants are in the city. And we're sitting at the bar having a drink.
Spike Lee walks in. And I don't get like, I don't do like a starstruck thing, but I think I was talking to my mom, which I don't usually do before hanging out, but I had yet to talk to my mom on my dad's birthday. So I wanted to talk to her. And I just like pointed. I was like, Spike Lee.
But you, as you were like pointing, you're like, and then I'm scared to turn around because I think you're telling me that like Brett, the guy whose birthday it is, or somebody's like walking in, and I like don't want to turn around, and you're like Spike Lee, and so then he sits right behind us where there's just 2 seats at the bar and 1 little table, and he sits right behind us.
Yeah, and I was like, this is clairvoyant, like this is bizarre. Again, a wink, if you will, because that was probably my dad's favorite filmmaker.
A God wink.
A God wink. There you go. Like one of my earliest memories is watching Do the Right Thing in our living room with my dad at 6 years old, 7 years old. Mo Better Blues, same thing. We talked about like others before, like renting the movies. We feel like Malcolm X with the double VHS. It was so long. It was 3 hours, like 30 minutes. But I was 10 years old watching Malcolm X. And I remember watching the second tape sitting on his bed, which I rarely did, like the foot of his bed, watching the end of the second part of that. But like he loved Spike Lee movies. They obviously taught us a lot about life, history, culture, and all types of different things that are probably above my, age range at 6, 7, and 8. But you watch them then, they become part of what I shared with him. And then as I got older, understand more depth about the filmmaker himself and what the film was trying to say. But he loved that guy's movies, and he loved that guy. And obviously he was a cultural icon too in the late 80s, early and throughout the 90s, and even till today. So to see him walk in on this day, I was just like, that's crazy.
And then you said to me,
well, I'm getting a picture without you. We're going one-on-one here with Spike.
You said you're going to take a picture. And I said, of all of us. And you're like, no, of me and Spike. And I was just like, so we're going to go through, because we're not like see a famous person take pictures kind of thing. Mm-mm. Like,
I don't think I've ever done that.
Yeah. And let me just say, it showed that you had never done that.
Yeah, I was not. Your boy was not chill when I walked in and asked. I mean, literally, again, he's right behind us. So it's not like I'm walking far, just turned around. And he's like,
well, wait. We were leaving.
We were about to leave. He'd eaten his first course. There was no food and being interrupted. He had just ordered a glass of wine. I knew where he wasn't going anywhere. So I'm like, all right, it's the moment. We're about to get out of here. And I said, hey, started talking even faster than I normally do.
Hey, Spike, I love you. My dad, can I take a picture?
And then what happened?
His Spike's like, nah, man, I don't really.
He's like, I really would rather not.
Really right and I was like, hold on, let me recite that again. Let me back this up.
Let me take a breath. I'm ready.
Today would have been my dad's 83rd birthday. He loved all your movies. Some of my youngest memories are watching Do the Right Thing, Mo Better Blues, Malcolm X.
And he's like, how old were you?
And I said, how old were you? I was like 6 in the first one, probably 8 in the next one, and 10 in the like that. I think I left out Jungle Fever. We watched them all. Jungle Fever, pertinent very much to our family, but in that experience that the two had in that movie. But yeah, I was just then he turned around. He turned that around. He's like, all right, and he goes, all right, for your dad. So he stood up, took a picture. Then he was trying to shake your hand. I tried to dap him up again. He was like, he goes, get out of the way. Get out of the way. I'm talking to her. I said, okay, my bad. And he said, go next.
It was cool. It was really cool. I was glad that you did it. You were fumbling around like a crazy person, but you did great.
I mean, my heart was racing afterwards, and
we walked down the street, and you're like, I was so nervous. I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. I think you nailed that.
I blacked out, similar to like when I proposed to you. I guess it's the same thing. I don't know what my first pitch was to him, but he did not say yes to that one. That pitch was not a good pitch. It was sputtering out sentence fragments, talking too fast, and maybe sweating a little bit too. I don't know.
You were definitely sweating when we walked out, and your little face was like flushed. You were like all nervous. Yeah. But we did it. I got a great photo, 2 great photos.
Yeah, thank you very much. Sorry for you were not being in them, but we
went
mano there. I think your family group chat proved out why it was going to be a solo afterwards. It wasn't like anybody that was going to leave out who the comparison was. They did not know it was Spike right away. So I'm like, I don't think the same level of connection here. I'm going to do this thing one-on-one with my guy here.
Whatever. I still was there. Could have been in the photo, but it's fine. No big deal.
You did a great job. You did a great job. That was such a great gift. Thank you, babe.
You're welcome. I'm happy to take one for the team and get that photo for you, and very proud of you that you mumbled your way through getting it. I think I tried to hype you and we walked out. I was like, no, what are you talking about? You did great. And you're like, I don't even know what I was saying. I was like, yeah, me neither. Like,
neither did he. Although he said
you were just talking, not listening.
How about take a breath?
I know, you were really nervous.
I'm trying to think of if I ever done that with any celebrity. Like if I saw MJ, I would be totally struggling to put together words. Holly Berry would be tough too. Holly Berry would be real hard. And other than that, we've been around so many celebrities and so many different things. Like not just
Humble
the sports
brag.
stuff, but no, like my first job out of school was hosting the thing at Fashion Week, hosting the suite at Fashion Week and at the U.S. Open. It's like walking around all these people, and I'm like, all right. My boss's whole thing was, you do not care who walks in this door. You get whatever they need. I am the bitch boy at that time. You do whatever they need, and you stay out of the way. I'm like, deal. And that was fine. But I guess I just don't really care.
I guess Spike never came through those doors for you.
Spike did not come through those doors, apparently, because your boy was uneasy.
Pretty cool that it did then.
Yeah.
I wanted to rehash something from last week when I said on the podcast that I loved you more than you loved me. Mm-hmm. And I've said that before.
Erroneous. I love you way more than you love me. Or it could be equal amounts of love.
We're like watching it back, clipping different things, and I'm like, can you at least argue that you love me more than me?
By we, you mean you. You were cutting because you do all the real work.
True.
And then I heard the line, and I'm like, well, how long till she comments on this? About 8 seconds.
Your brain was like ready to get off the next point that you had to make, and I was like, you missed.
On that note, real quick, you're wearing a shirt that says favorite daughter, by the way. How's that going to go down with a girl with 2 sisters?
Okay, I'm so glad you brought this up.
Do you think your dad has a favorite, or mom or dad has a favorite?
I was trying to figure out how I was going to bring this back because I meant to do it at the beginning and I forgot. This is really just a social experiment to see if my sisters watch the podcast. Because I am wearing.
They can listen. That's why I had to bring it up.
Yeah, but I need them to watch it enough to get this far in and see us talking about it. Yes, I am wearing a shirt that says favorite daughter. This is a brand.
Oh.
The brand is called Favorite Daughter. And if my mom and dad are watching, then it's a brand. And if my sisters are watching, mom and dad sent me this shirt because I am the favorite daughter.
You think that's seriously? You think you're the favorite?
For sure.
But from both?
No, I'm just kidding. I don't know.
Do you think they have a favorite though? This is a real question.
I think they have favorites in different, like at different points. I think they're like different, like things that we're the favorite for, if that makes sense.
I
Like
guess.
Chandler's the baby, so she's always gonna like, be treated like the baby because she's the last one. She's the baby. Brienne's the oldest, so she's not gonna be wrong or more of the like golden child because she's the oldest. She is going to be more the golden child, I'm saying, because she's the oldest. And I'm the middle. I'm forgotten.
Oh, here we go.
Nobody knows about. No, I'm just kidding. I think I'm the favorite as far as like I'm the one that like you come to like to try to like bring the family together.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm the like communicator.
You're the connector.
Imagine that, because I like to talk a lot and listen and make people share their TFEs.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yes, I just by the proxy of wearing this shirt, I am the favorite daughter, and mom and dad did send this to me, Brian and Chandler, if you're watching, because I'm the favorite daughter.
You know what's interesting? Not to take this on a less fun note, but you made me think of something. I was talking so much about my dad, and Derek had mentioned this before because. Yeah, I don't know. His favorite was probably like him and my sister were. It's the dad-daughter thing. There's 5 of us. There's one girl, and she was always treated differently. It was very obvious. Now he was hard on all of us and hard on her too, but there was a massive soft spot that there was communication and lots of I love yous that we didn't get. Like I probably said, and this is sad. I think you probably heard him say, or I said I love you less than 5 times to him, which is an awful thing. But that's again.
Do you think you were aware of that when it happened, or now when you're older, you're more like aware of that?
We just didn't. It's just the tough love piece. This just wasn't how we were raised. It just wasn't the deal, And the same thing with my grandpa. Like I don't think I ever heard my grandpa say it. I don't think I ever said it. But from the women, it was poured on. Like my mom and my grandma, just like effusive love yous, and that's just a whole different thing. And then that was acceptable. That's what we did. But with the guys, it was just not that way, and that's sad. But I do think that. Because my dad retired when I was starting my senior year of high school, which was bizarre to come home and see him like sitting on the couch when this guy was gone before I woke up most days and came home after I came home from school. Like that was like rocked my world. I'm like, what is this guy gonna do? My mom's like, he's got to start doing something. He's got to get out of his house. Like she's like, can't be here all the time. Which that's where he started golfing more. But the relationship we got to develop, like he started then taking me. He'd be like work out with me, like he'd be like basketball. He'd be like my rebounder. He'd be like setting up the cones and like going through drills with me. Which was awesome. And then we got to spend more time together as I look back on it. And our relationship became different because when I went to college, he flew up. My mom worked for an airline at the time, and AirTran, and he would fly to most of our games. He watched me play. Out of the 108 games I played, he watched probably 105 in person. He would stay in our house sometimes. The whole basketball team lived in one house at 114th and Broadway, and he would stay on my futon, or I would stay in the futon. He'd sleep in the bed sometimes. And sometimes he'd stay in a hotel, but sometimes he'd crash there. Depends on what his game was. Anyway, but our relationship became totally different. Like we began to like hang out more, and I saw him more as like my dad, obviously. But I was becoming an adult, and we could have real conversations and have fun at the same times. And as a dude, I would mess with him. Like I would joke with him, like you joke with your boys. And Derek, I remember last week I started coming home. Derek's like, what did you just say to dad? Like he couldn't like process it because 8 years older, first one was so hard on him. Like. Their relationship was clearly father-son, and there was you would not mess with dad. He used to think it was so crazy. We'd sit there at like dinner, and I would like talk junk to him like I would to one of my boys, and he's like, I can't do it. This is unbelievable. So
you were the favorite boy, is what you're saying.
No, I think you saw that the relationship developed differently, and there was never a favorite there with him. I feel like he was, especially because the 3 biological boys, there is the difference in nature and nurture. I think my parents actually were easier on my little brother and sister. I think by the expectation changed. Also, they got older. Dad started to make more money. Like the world changed, and they got easier. When really, in actuality, they needed to be just as hard on them as on us if you want them to succeed. Honestly, so that wasn't the case. It's just to see the relationship difference. Now, my mother though, they say I'm the golden boy. There's no doubt. There's no doubt who the favorite of my mom is, and I'm sorry. Like Dana's been bitching about it for 30 some years. It just is the way it is. I am her baby. Technically, by the last one she had, she treated Darren like the baby, but Darren, there was a different thing too. Like I was comfortable expressing my emotions to my mother, and that was the only person on the planet. So she would love that I would come from like 3 to 15, would just come and like lay next to her, or like just want to cuddle or whatever. I would be there, and we just had a different relationship. She could tell me whatever she was thinking and feeling. I would do the same.
That's why you had to have your passy until kindergarten.
That was also unhealthy, but yes, this was a whole different animal. But yeah, I used to sign my emails to her all the time. GB, just golden boy. Absolutely, all the time. Because that was Lyra. Like, he's like, I'm Lyra. That was Dana. Like, he's the golden boy. He can do whatever. Blah 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 blah. I complain about it. And Derek had no qualms. Derek was just. It was just again different relationship. Devin's more the true middle child in our family, with always causing a ruckus. Him and Dana were. So I was like, I'm the connector. I'm just trying to do what you want me to do. I'm trying to be a people pleaser. I'm trying to be successful if you want me to do that. I'm trying to stay out of trouble. I'm doing all the things you ask me. And I tell you how much I love you. And I'm the boy that wants to cuddle with you. I'm the golden boy.
I didn't know that your nickname was GB. That's good to know.
GB.
Do you know what I was going to call you?
You have so many good nicknames for me. I don't know.
Big Cheese.
Big Cheese. What was that show? Oh, Sirens.
We just started watching Sirens. We're only halfway through. Something exciting to maybe do later on tonight once the kids are in bed. And the Big Cheese, Little Cheese. So,
Jeez, I forgot about that.
Big Cheese. I was going to ask if you had the FUs, icks that we need to get off our chest.
Why are you forcing this FU thing?
FU.
This is a bad acronym.
The FU. You got one?
It's terrible. It seems like you do. I got nothing right now. What do you got?
Why do you have to always leave the cabinets open in the kitchen?
Why do you leave every light on in the house? The cabinets don't cost us money. Electricity
Literally,
does.
when I was like, I'm going to say this, and he's going to come back at me with the lights and say that costs money.
I walk behind you, just clicking them off all the time. These things cost money. The cabinets, I can't explain that. It's weird. It's very weird. No price to pay.
It's like you don't know that they also close.
It's like you don't know switches turn off lights.
No, I turn off a lot of lights.
No, you don't. You just leave them on all the time.
I turn off a lot of lights.
And our energy bill through the roof.
Not because of the lights.
Partially.
Probably because of the cars that we're charging.
Partially. Yeah, the lights are on all the time. That's all I'm saying. It costs money.
I'm just saying I can do better with the lights, which I have been.
No.
You don't mean that.
I do. The other day, there was the light on in your closet was on for, it had to be the whole night. I was just like, why has this been on? But
that's I have a pet cat that likes the light on in there.
Right, yeah. It would be the worst cat mom of all time if that was true.
Well, you know that's not the case. I'm the best cat mom.
Yeah, but if that
I love my cats so much that I let them go live with my parents so that they can have a better life.
That's good.
I miss them. Dace misses them too.
Yeah, Dace is heartbroken.
So does Lyra.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to work on the lights, which I have been. I think I'm doing better. And
I'll work on shutting those closets because that stuff costs money. It's tough. It's just like this is the same thing as the toilet seat. It's the same thing. It's the same thing as the toilet paper roll.
No, it's not.
You move your hand 3 inches to shut the thing. Well, why is that a problem? Why is that hard?
Because if I clean the kitchen...
And I'm saying I can do it.
And if I clean the kitchen and the kitchen's clean, but there are 4 cabinets that are open, it's like, why is this cabinet still open?
I feel like you have much better complaints to be made. I mean, I feel like I've got a laundry list of stuff that I do that's probably annoying. You really can find better. You can find better material, I imagine.
I think that's actually a good one because it does really annoy me when I walk in there and like 4 out of 5.
Let's get these closets shut, folks. I'm gonna
get you more ick-oos. Don't worry, ooh icks.
Get a better acronym. Do I have to? We got to wrap this thing up.
We gotta go. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and share.
You said TFEs. Share. Oh, there you go. Okay.
That's the most important part. Share your TFEs with somebody this week. We'll see you next week.